I'm about to reveal 5 clues that she's only faking satisfaction with your size, and missing these signs could cost you months of living in a complete delusion. As a woman, I've heard countless conversations behind closed doors, and what I'm about to share will absolutely shock you. Before I reveal these 5 clues, I need a small favor. Hit that subscribe button so you'll know exactly when she's pretending versus when she's genuinely satisfied. Smash the like button and tell me in the comments what city you're watching from. It's incredible how many men worldwide are dealing with this exact situation without even knowing it. Clue number 1, the performance overcompensation. The first clue she's faking satisfaction is theatrical overperformance. When a woman is genuinely satisfied, her responses are natural, authentic, and beautifully varied. But when she's compensating for what's missing, she suddenly turns into an actress performing for an audience of one. Here's exactly what this looks like. Exaggerated moaning that sounds rehearsed rather than spontaneous. Overly dramatic movements that seem choreographed instead of instinctive. And compliments that sound like she's reading directly from a script. "Oh my God, you're so big," she says, but her body language tells a completely different story. The sophisticated ones even study what they think you want to hear. She becomes louder than her usual personality, more animated than feels natural, because she's desperately trying to convince both of you that everything is absolutely perfect. But here's what most men completely miss. Authentic satisfaction doesn't need a Broadway performance. Real pleasure is often quieter, more focused, more genuinely connected. It doesn't announce itself with theatrical declarations. Clue number 2, the quick redirect strategy. The second clue is how lightning fast she redirects focus away from any size-related topics. Watch carefully what happens when the conversation naturally moves toward physical intimacy or satisfaction levels. She immediately pivots to talking about emotional connection, foreplay techniques, or romantic atmosphere. Literally anything except the physical reality of your dimensions. Don't misunderstand me, these elements matter enormously, but when she consistently dodges any mention of physical satisfaction, that avoidance is screaming volumes. Here's the psychology behind this behavior. A woman who's genuinely physically satisfied doesn't need to avoid the topic like it's radioactive. She's completely comfortable discussing all aspects of intimacy because she has absolutely nothing to hide or compensate for. The clever ones will even flip it back on you. Size doesn't matter, it's all about technique. But notice how she never actually confirms her personal satisfaction. She just repeats general statements she's heard elsewhere. But before I reveal clue number 3, this next sign is something almost every woman does unconsciously, and you've probably experienced it dozens of times without realizing what was really happening. Clue number 3, the finishing time inconsistency. The third clue she's faking satisfaction is wildly inconsistent timing patterns. When a woman is genuinely physically satisfied, her body develops predictable response patterns to what actually works for her unique anatomy. But when she's performing satisfaction, the timing becomes completely erratic and unnatural. Sometimes she finishes unusually quickly, almost like she's rushing through a mandatory performance to get it over with. Other times, it takes dramatically longer than usual because she's trying to make the fake response seem more believable and realistic. The most sophisticated performers even fake multiple climaxes to create this elaborate illusion of intense satisfaction. But here's what they don't realize. Authentic physiological responses have natural, consistent rhythms that simply cannot be perfectly replicated through acting alone. I remember analyzing cases where women would finish in completely different timeframes each encounter, with no correlation to what was actually happening physically. That inconsistency, it's your body's lie detector going off. This next clue involves her behavior immediately after intimacy, and missing this could mean missing the biggest tell of all. Clue number 4, the post-intimacy disconnect. The fourth clue is what happens in those crucial moments immediately following intimacy. A woman who's genuinely satisfied tends to naturally want more connection, more affection, more presence in that intimate space you've just shared. But when she's been faking her way through the entire experience, there's often an immediate and obvious emotional disconnect. She quickly gets up, immediately checks her phone, starts discussing tomorrow's schedule, basically anything to move away from the intimate moment as fast as possible. Here's the deeper psychology at work. When satisfaction is completely real, women naturally want to stay in that connected, vulnerable space longer. They crave that afterglow conversation, that skin-to-skin contact, that emotional intimacy that follows physical connection. But when it's all been a carefully orchestrated performance, they unconsciously want to escape the pretense as quickly as they can. That post-intimacy glow everyone talks about. It's nearly impossible to fake convincingly when you're emotionally checking out. The really telling sign is if she consistently avoids meaningful eye contact or deeper conversation right after being intimate. Real satisfaction creates connection. Fake satisfaction creates distance. Clue number 5, the avoidance of genuine position preferences. The fifth and most revealing clue is her complete avoidance of expressing authentic position preferences. When a woman is truly satisfied with your size and how it works with her body, she naturally gravitates toward positions that maximize pleasure for your specific combination. But when she's compensating for inadequate satisfaction, she either avoids having any preferences whatsoever, whatever you want is totally fine, or she suggests positions that might look impressive, but don't actually maximize satisfaction for your particular situation. Here's what authentic satisfaction actually looks like in practice. She has clear, specific preferences based on what genuinely works. She actively guides you toward positions and techniques that create real pleasure. She's honestly invested in making the experience genuinely satisfying for both participants, not just maintaining an illusion. The fake satisfaction woman treats positions like they're all equivalent, because from her perspective of not being truly satisfied anyway, they essentially are all the same disappointment. By the time you're consistently noticing all 5 of these clues together, you're not dealing with occasional performance anxiety or temporary mood variations. Each fake response represents a deliberate choice to protect your feelings rather than address the actual situation together. Your satisfaction and hers deserve complete honesty, not elaborate theatrical performances. When someone consistently performs satisfaction instead of communicating real needs and preferences, genuine transparency isn't part of their intimacy strategy. The question isn't whether she's faking, it's whether you're both finally ready to have completely honest conversations about what actually works for both of you. If these clues opened your eyes to what might really be happening in your most intimate moments, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the daily videos that could completely transform your relationships. Hit that like button and share your honest thoughts in the comments. Have you noticed any of these specific patterns in your own experiences? Remember, authentic intimacy is built on complete honesty, not protective performances. Until next time, this is Sarah, reminding you that real satisfaction is always worth more than any fake performance, no matter how convincing it might seem.